training for, I don't know, I guess older guys, beat up athletes, right? If you're watching my channel, according to Google Analytics, which, who knows if that's correct or not, my viewers are basically men between the ages of 35 and 40. If you're a female watching this, comment below, because according to Google Analytics and YouTube's Analytics, I have 0% female viewers. I don't know if that's really true or not. Be interesting. If you're a female, I do want to apologize to you very quickly. I know I talk about, training for men and things like that, and I use the word men and guys a lot. It's just because I'm talking from my own personal perspective, but I'm sure that you realize that the things I'm saying actually apply to women too, especially this one. I don't really care if you're male or female, but here's my personal experience as a dude who's beat up. This is not really going to be a very long video. You could suppose I could do a really long video on this type of stuff if we really wanted to dive into it. So if you guys comment below and give me all your interest and tell me what things you want to hear about, then I guess I could dive into the more specific things. But what I am going to jump on here is I'm going to tell you that as an older beat up athlete, do not overlook the benefit and value of using specialty bars. I'm sure you've heard this from someone before, but I'm here to tell you that the safety squat bar is one of my favorite bars now. Whenever I was growing up and I was young, I was like, that's fucking dumb. Who would use that? You don't need that. And my reason for it is because only pussies put fucking pads on the bar. But I'll tell you this. Here's the better reason, and it has nothing to do with the padding on the bar. With the safety squat bar, these handles that come like across the shoulder here, you put your hand here. Holy shit. That is so much more comfortable. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that is a lot easier on your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists. There are days where my epicondyle gets all flared up, and I know why. I broke my arm in an arm bar. So I got caught in an arm bar, and he pulled it back way faster than I could tap. It's not because I'm some hardcore dude and was like, I'm not gonna fucking tap because I'm dumb. No, I was rolling with this dude, and he just yanked it back and it snapped. I didn't even have a chance to tap. So ever since then, my one epicondyle hurts, my left epicondyle. So, and it gets flared up, and there are days where it just burns. Like, I have this burning pain, like a hot coal stuck in the side of my arm. And if I back squat and I get my arms back in that position, man, that epicondyle just does not like that. Same thing for the front squat. Man, you get that rack position, in your front squat here, that epicondyle right there, that sucker hurts. What am I supposed to do? Just push through it? I mean, I can, but you know what happens? It hurts even more the next day. And then I push through it more, and it hurts even more the next day. And then eventually I get to the point where I can't even make a fist, or I can't grip a dumbbell or something like that because my epicondyl's all fucked up. So, like, it actually starts affecting my strength and my grip. So you know what works? I'll use the safety squat bar for a day. Literally a day. And my epicondyle chills out, cools off, and I can go back to front squats. I might front squat 6 days in a row. Epicondyle gets flared up, safety bar squat for 1 day. Epicondyle feels better the next day, go right back to safety to front squats. Don't overlook the value of that specialty bar. I'm going to say similarly. Right now I'm dealing with this wrist problem. Apparently I tore some kind of fucking compartment or some shit in my wrist. I got no clue. I don't understand this shit. These orthopedic surgeons, they scan me and they tell me this is fucked up, and I'm like, cool. What do I do about it? They're like, I need surgery. I'm like, awesome, do it. And they're like, oh, we can't even do it until December. So what do you do in the meantime? I'll tell you right now, as much as I hate it, I do, I hate the trap bar. If you know me, you hate trap bar deadlifts because I convinced you to hate trap bar deadlifts. Trap bar deadlifts are entirely too easy. And yet, I will tell you that right now I'm in love with the trap bar and trap bar deadlifts. Why? Because it's easier on your wrist. So you don't have to turn your wrist, and so it makes it a perfect solution because now you can continue to train the deadlift. You can even continue to train your grip. But because the handle is turned, right, now you don't have this pain in your wrist. And so you can continue to practice, you can continue to develop strength, you can continue doing deadlifts. It's the same thing with a safety squat bar. Because you don't have to twist your wrist, now you can continue to squat. You need to be intelligent about these things. Don't use a tool to avoid doing work. Let me say that again. Do not use a tool to avoid doing work. So if you're capable of deadlifting, then deadlift. And if you're capable of doing back squats, back squat. And if you're capable of doing front squats, do the front squats. But if your wrist is so flared up that you can't get your hand in position to do a deadlift, or you can't get your hand in position to do a front squat, go with the safety bar, go with the trap bar. Use those tools so that you can continue to work. And then we're going to come to the third one here. Is those Swiss bars, the football bars, the Cadillac bar, whatever you want to call it. They got a whole bunch of them. Dude, it hurts your wrist to bench press. Sometimes it pisses off your elbow. Sometimes it pisses off your shoulder. You should use a Swiss bar or a football bar or a Cadillac bar, or whatever variety of bars there are out there, because it lets you turn your wrist into a neutral position. And you know what? If you don't have one of those, use dumbbells. Do it. I'll tell you right now, I just got back from Mayo and I had to train out of a hotel gym. And you know what I noticed? My wrists don't hurt. It's not because I didn't train. I trained every day. I did overhead presses, I did bench presses, I did squats, and I did Dimmel deadlifts, because the 50-pound dumbbells are the heaviest they have. So 2 50-pound dumbbells do, 10 sets of 20. My wrists don't hurt. Why? Because I'm using dumbbells. The dumbbells don't require that I turn my wrist in any particular way, so I can bench press with the dumbbell basically neutral. I don't have to turn out. Same thing for the overhead press. I don't have to turn my wrist out. I can just have a neutral wrist and press straight overhead. For the squats, I basically was doing like a front squat. Like I would just swing both of the dumbbells up and hold them at the top, just like the top of a curl kind of, rest them on my shoulder a little and do all my squats that way. 10 sets of 20 squats with 50-pound dumbbells. This is a light workout. You're not going to get strong from this. This is just me continuing to train, despite the fact that I'm training out of a hotel room. But the point that I'm sharing here is the fact that dumbbells can be a great option. So if you can't bench press a bar, use the dumbbells. If you can't overhead press a bar, use the dumbbells. If you don't have access to a football bar, Swiss bar, Cadillac bar, do that. Same thing's true of like the safety squat bar. It's a fantastic choice, but you know what? Like there are a ton of other bars. That spider bar looks super fucking comfortable. I don't have one. That's that Dave Tate thing. I think it's called a spider bar. That looks super fucking comfortable. I'd like one of those. The trap bar, like I said, that's a great option. You got other options out there. You should utilize them. Those specialty bars have a time and place, and that time and place is not for you to avoid doing hard work. It's whenever you're too fucked up to do a regular squat, use that bar. When you're too fucked up to use a regular straight bar for bench pressing, go ahead and use that bar. When your wrists are too flared up to turn them so you can do a deadlift, use the trap bar. You should use these tools so that you can continue training, not to make it easier. It's to work around the stuff that hurts. And so as you get older, you should get smarter. You should. Not all of us. Some of us are still dumb, and then we bang our head into the wall 1,000 times before we figure it out. That's why I have brain damage. Because I just whack my head into the wall over and over and over again until I go, oh, wait a minute. That trap bar might be comfortable. And the point that I have to make to you, okay, is that as you get older, these things are actually really fucking useful. So that is something weird that I changed my opinion on. How about that? So you may find that doing box squats doesn't hurt your knees. Then box squat. In fact, actually, that's a great way to train. A 14-inch box is always a 14-inch box. So that gives you an objective measure right there. As you get older, maybe your squat depth is going away because you're losing your mobility. But if you squat to a 14-inch box every single time, it's always a 14-inch box. That's something to think about. Start training around things. Be smart about it. Take advantage of things like specialty bars. And, like I said, if you guys comment below and you have a lot of, interest in this topic, we can start talking about specific movements. because I have a huge list of movements that I've figured out that are good alternatives, or whatever you want to call it, things that you can use to work around something that still develop the other strength, like Dimmel deadlifts. You don't have to deadlift anymore. You can just do a ton of Dimmel deadlifts and it will actually increase your deadlift. Well, you can increase your deadlift without deadlifting, yes, but you already knew that because Louie told you. So anyways, that's the takeaway from this one. As you get older and you get banged up, start using the specialty bars so you can continue training. Don't use them as a tool to make things easier. Use them as a tool so that you're able to continue training when you otherwise would have to stop.